All right, welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Let's Talk Legacy podcast. I'm excited. I'm with my brother today, the entrepreneur, the cinematographer, the filmmaker. I'm excited for what he has to share today. It's all about the topic of redefining strength. But I'll let my brother introduce himself.
Well, for the ones that don't know me, my real name is Terrell Johnson. My stage name, you could say Tiggy. You know, I'm a filmmaker, a young, upcoming filmmaker, trying to make a little something shake.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Yes, sir. You're doing it. Nah,
yeah.
all right. Come on, man. So, like I said, our conversation today is all about redefining strength. It's all really about the myth of strength and what we were taught, right? So think about it. Growing up, strength wasn't really, something that was defined for us. It was more like handed
Yeah,
to us, right?
definitely.
Whether the intention was pure enough, not the lesson was really what be tough. Don't cry, don't really come, one with your emotions, which I realize doesn't always work in our favor in the long run. So we got to learn on our own when it comes to that type of stuff, unfortunately, right? So
Right.
I want to hear, how cultural expectations, right, shape your emotional habits, based off of your childhood, the environment you were around. How did it impact your thinking, to begin with? And then we'll go into, how you learn, how to break away and learn your own path.
Yeah. Um, Growing up, man, in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's real different because you can't show that much emotion because, if you show type of weakness, people will try to get over you
Mhm.
or try to, manipulate, you in any type of way,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So you gotta be focused on what you're doing out there. For one thing, you gotta know what you're doing out there. So feelings and influence is all around you,
Yep.
or as you walk down the street and see and get into something real fast. You know what I'm saying? It's the choices too.
For real.
You gotta have choices. So yeah.
Yeah. Now I get that.
Hey,
All of the impacts, all of the stuff you said, I think a lot of people can relate to that,
yeah,
right? They don't even realize it's happening to them, right? The
right.
influence that's coming. So I guess, how did you realize a lot of the things that made were instilled in you? How the stuff that was instilled in you? How did you break away and find your own path? What was the, I guess, determining factor of that? Was this like an event in your life or what?
Yeah, man, more it's a struggle though, because the transition is hard.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done, like, oh well, he could just leave that alone and go this way. So it was like it was steps to it. It was some events led to, you know, to make a change for my life, you know what I'm saying? Cause my kids, for one thing, I'm a family man at first, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the kids, they didn't want to see me go back and forth, and I got a lot of responsibility. I got people that love me out there, that made that dramatic change, and other folks, I could say don't want you to make that change.
Yes, sir.
They want you to keep doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and only if it's benefiting them. You know what I'm saying?
God, bro. Oh boy.
So yeah,
That's a mouthful. That last piece is a mouthful because I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I tell you often that I'm proud of you is because in the midst of all that and despite all of that, you still chose you. You know
right.
what I mean? You chose you. You went and found some things you love and you went for them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You went and got the credentials for them. You make it, that's a big deal, my
right.
brother. So, like I tell you all the time, I'm gonna tell you again, I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Most definitely, man. Hey, I'm proud of you likewise, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
For real.
Man. And like you said, those people that's out there that truly love you, they're gonna acknowledge the things you're doing in your transformation, right? And they're gonna push you in a direction that they know is better for you. So to the audience, recognize who those people are.
Right, for real.
Because you might assume some people have the best interest or your best interest in mind, but that might not always be the case. You
Right.
got to become more self-aware.
Yeah,
Right?
gotta be a self-awareness, man.
You know,
Big on self-aware.
that's real. That's real. No, I love that. So you hit on a whole bunch, man. And I think, like I said, the relativity, man, to what you said is too huge for us not to acknowledge.
Right.
But also, you got a lot to be proud of, my brother. You hear me?
For sure, man.
You got a lot to be
For
proud of.
sure.
All right. So next section here. is all about what I call strength versus stoicism, right? So think about the determination that you have, in choosing when to be strong or when to be silent, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes that's hard for us to do, in those moments. We get emotional, going back to the environmental influences, right? We don't
Right.
really learn about the emotions. We might react quicker, right?
Right.
Because we haven't learned about, like, haven't even given it time or energy, because everybody else been telling us that that's not important,
Right.
But what's your, I guess, opinion on the difference between being strong and being silent?
I say, man, I'm gonna start out with, being strong is like is a mental state and a physical state. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
And I could say for like silent is like more like a technique. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to be silent at times that you need to be strong. You know what I'm saying? It's like situations that be put in, like, should I be strong or I should be silent?
Mm-hmm.
So silence is I can break that more down. Like the silence, the technique more like if like the whole journey of me going to school, I ain't let nobody know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't let nobody know what I was doing. Only a select few knew what I was doing going to school. So when I popped out, they were like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because I chose that way because I ain't want no distractions.
Brother.
I ain't want no, it was tunnel vision.
Come on.
So I did, I came up with a technique to be silent. You know what I'm saying?
God, brother, that's a beautiful example, my brother.
Yeah.
Yikes. You know what? So, okay, when you're in growth mode, like my man was when he was on his journey to get the things he currently has.
Yeah.
You got to realize this D word is so important, brother. We might not talk about it enough, but it's called discernment.
Yeah, discernment, yeah.
You use your discernment, my brother. You're like, you know what? This thing is too good for me to share with everybody.
Yeah.
Because they're going to cloud it. They're going to try to distract me, break me off my path.
And it happens like that because it be times that I told somebody I'm about to do something or plan something. It ain't never went, as planned.
Yes,
Time I was silent about it and it actually went through. It was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? It was there.
Yep.
But to lay on the strength, you got to be strong to society today because, back to you saying on different worlds, check that out.
Yes, sir. Come on now. Come on.
You got to be, you got to be focused, man.
Yeah, that tunnel vision.
Your tunnel vision,
bro. No, I love it, man. You spot on. That was incredible. That was an incredible response to that, bro.
Right.
And the example you used was spot on. So, got this last piece right here is all about rewriting the script, right? So we talked about a lot of things, environmental influence, right? How it can impact your mental state, impact your decisions, right? Only if you allow them to. But you got the ability to choose yourself. Like my man said, he had to choose strength by being silent on the journey that he knew he needed to go on. And he went on that journey, right? So whether you on that journey, whether you started that journey, right? You need to consider whether or not you need to redefine what strength actually is, right? Because being silent is not weakness, right? It's actually a technique.
So it's this technique now.
Like my brother said. Come on.
Yeah, learn them techniques.
Yes, sir. All right. So how do we rewrite the script, right? So I want you to, first of all, give some acknowledgement to how you rewrote your script, right? And give some advice to the audience of how we can rewrite the script together as a community.
So for starters, you got to plan what you want to do, how you want to do it, before you start, and don't be scared to do it. So, to rewrite the script, I feel like we should have more events leading to like kids, especially the teenagers, because they bored out there, they don't know what to do.
Yep.
And they listen to all kind of rap music and just try to get them more involved in outside more activities, break away from the internet sometimes.
So you were about to talk about rewriting the script. You were talking about kids and giving them exposure.
We need more like for more events for kids to, experience more outdoor stuff and, more sports. They need to be more included. We need more leaders to step up, you know what I'm saying? We can't do it by ourselves.
Yep.
I'm using film to get to the younger generation, since they out there wilding all the time. And if y'all like to wild all the time, y'all can do it on camera.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Get paid for it. You
Come
know
on
what I'm saying?
now.
Instead
Yes,
of,
sir.
you know, doing foolishness all the time. You know what I'm saying? That was, them old folks say, you know. Yeah, we trying to rewrite the script like that, you know, and just come together, man. It's gonna make the magic, man.
It is, man. The magic happens when we bring all these talents together. Bro.
Yeah, man.
It always does. And my man, he said this in a nutshell, and it's a quote from my brother. Check out my first episode, Keith Jackson. It's a quote, he laid it on me. I've kept it, tattooed it to my brain. It's called exposure leads to expansion. So my man Terrell, he talked about the kids. They need an opportunity to get the exposure so they can expand, man.
Yeah.
They can expand their perception of what their future is, you know, and the only way that happens is if they're exposed to things.
Right.
My brother, we're gonna rewrite the script. I think we're doing it already.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
You know what?
For real.
My boy. So
hey, thanks, man. For
you
real,
know
man.
what? I appreciate you, you know, being open to the interview. Y'all check out
man.
my brother.
You brought me out my comfort zone a little.
Man, this is what it's all about. That's how growth happens. You hear me?
Yeah, for real.
But you know, y'all check out my man, Bird's Eye Vision. You hear me?
Yeah,
you know,
Bird's Eye Vision on YouTube, man. It's different worlds. I got the hits on the way coming up. Y'all just stay tuned, man. Y'all just stay tuned. We got some more things on the way, man.
My boy working. He working.
Yeah, we working, man.
Yes, sir. Let's talk legacy, y'all. Y'all be great. And remember, everything we said today is supposed to impact you. Okay? So get to work. Y'all take care.
All right, now.